Babe, I'm not staying, I just wanna play. In the party, he just wanna romp. Big boobs in the bus, they plump. She a baddie, she knows she a 10. She a baddie with her baddie friend.
Hey baddies, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Let me not be rude. I missed you all very much. For those of you who are new, welcome to Styles by Baddies. I post new videos every week and they all revolve around beauty related content, along with me giving a voiceover, telling you guys a story time to keep you entertained. So be sure to subscribe and join the family. Today I'm giving y'all a roommate horror story about the time I caught my roommate sleeping with her boyfriend in my bed while I was gone. So let's get right into it. If y'all don't know, I'm in my third year of college right now and I live on campus. This year I did random roommate selection because I had plans to study abroad, but that failed. So by the time I wanted to, dorm with my friends, applications closed. It was just a lot. But anyways, long story short, I got stuck with a random for the year. Now at first, my roommate, let's call her Mia, was very chill, we got along pretty well. But over time, I started noticing some red flags. For one, Mia was super close with her boyfriend. Let's call him Jake. And they spent a lot of time together. Like, they were basically inseparable. And that was fine at first. But then Jake started coming over all the time. I'm talking every day. And at one point, it felt like he was living there. They'd be hanging out on the couch, cooking in the kitchen, and just taking over the space. It got so bad that I'd come home from class and find Jake there, but Mia wasn't even around. She'd just leave him in our dorm by himself, and I thought it was cute until it became a problem. One weekend, I decided to go home to visit my family because being at the dorm felt so suffocating and uncomfortable being around the both of them. I was tired of basically third wheeling, so I decided to pack up my things, say goodbye to Mia and Jake, and headed out. I thought I was in for a nice, relaxing weekend away, but little did I know what was happening back at the dorm. When I returned that Sunday evening, I felt something was off. As soon as I walked in, I noticed the room had a different vibe to it, like the blinds were drawn tight and there was an unusual scent in the air. But I shrugged it off thinking, Mia had just been lounging around. As I walked toward my bed though, I noticed the blankets were all messed up, and I'm low-key a neat freak, so I always make up my bed before I leave. Like, I literally can't leave my room without it being done. So when I seen it the way it was, my heart sank. I figured Mia must have been, rough housing with Jake on my bed, and I just brushed it off. I mean, it's college, right? People do things. But then as I was getting settled into my bed, I found a pair of Jake's socks underneath my pillow. So you can only imagine how shocked I was. I was so disgusted and angry. I went to find Mia to talk about it, but when I knocked on her door, she acted super weird. She opened the door crack and she said, "Oh, hey, I didn't expect you to be back so soon." Her hair was a bit messy and I could see Jake's backpack in the corner of the room. I had this overwhelming feeling in my gut that something wasn't right. I asked her if she'd seen my blanket because I was planning on washing it since, Sundays were my wash day, and she replied with a nervous laugh. She's like, I think I saw it on the couch." I thought her answer was really weird, but I let it slide once again. When I walked back into my room though, I still felt like something was off, like everything in the room had been rearranged. It was like they tried their best to make it look like as if nothing happened, but at the same time they didn't even care enough to cover their tracks properly. It was sloppy, almost like they didn't think I'd come back in time to catch them. So now as I'm remaking my bed, I see used lubricant and rubber on the floor near the edge of the bed. I literally thought they were pranking me because of how bad the situation was. So when I first confronted Mia about what I had found, I'm literally laughing with her like, "Ha ha ha ha, y'all play too much. I get the joke, you can stop now." I honestly thought there was no way this could be real. Like, who does that? But instead of laughing with me or owning up to the quote-unquote prank, she just stood there looking awkward and avoiding eye contact. That's when it really hit me that this wasn't some twisted joke. This was real. So when I asked her about it seriously this time, she completely flipped the script. She's like, oh, come on, you're being ridiculous. Jake and I were just hanging out. We didn't do anything. She tried to laugh it off, but the panic in her eyes was clear. Then she went on to say that I was just overreacting and imagining things. Gaslighting at its finest, right? I didn't even know what to believe anymore, but I wasn't about to let this go at all. I told her point blank that I didn't appreciate her trying to downplay what was obviously a huge violation of my trust and blatantly disrespectful. I wasn't about to let her make me feel crazy for being upset about something that any reasonable person would find unacceptable. Mia turned so defensive, saying I was just jealous and trying to ruin their relationship. Like, girl, what? I had zero interest in Jake, y'all. I literally just wanted to be treated with respect, you know? She's like, you're just jealous because you think I'm happier than you are. You can't stand to see me happy with someone. Like, once again, this has nothing to do about jealousy at all. If you found someone you like, that's cool. Nobody is stopping that. But that doesn't give you the right to disrespect my space. There's other ways, you know, that you could literally hang out with your boyfriend without crossing boundaries. And I'm telling her all this nicely, and it's like she still wasn't getting it. She keeps telling me, you know, it's not that deep. It's not like I meant any harm, this, that, and the third. And I'm getting angry with her at this point. I'm like, you had your boyfriend in my bed. Like, nothing about that screams okay. So after that explosive conversation, things in the dorm were very tense. Mia would act cold and dismissive, like she wasn't the one that disrespected me. I tried to stay cordial with her just for the peace of things, but in reality, I couldn't rekindle any friendship with this girl. Like, I just couldn't. I couldn't fake it. I couldn't fake like I liked her, y'all. It was so hard to sleep at night knowing what had happened, and I felt uncomfortable in my own space, like 10 times worse than I had felt in the beginning. For a few weeks, she stopped inviting her boyfriend over, but soon, you know, Mia started inviting Jake over again. And I could feel the tension in the air every time they were around. They'd laugh and act like nothing had happened while I sat there feeling like an outsider in my own home. I couldn't shake the feeling that they were doing it intentionally, showing off their relationship in front of me as if to say, look how happy we are without you. So I ended up spending a lot of time studying at the library or hanging out with friends to avoid being home. And eventually I decided to take matters into my own hands. I reached out to my residence advisor to discuss what had happened, and after explaining the situation, they suggested I file a roommate conflict form. I realized I couldn't keep living in a toxic environment where my boundaries were violated. So Mia eventually found out that I had talked to somebody about it, and she went completely off. She accused me of quote-unquote betraying our friendship and claimed I was dramatic. The gaslighting continued, yes, y'all, but I stood my ground. I knew I wasn't the problem. I just personally wanted a safe space to live. In the end, I ended up moving to another dorm, which is where I'm at currently, and honestly, this was the best decision I ever made. I feel so relieved to be out of that situation, and it taught me a valuable lesson about trust and boundaries. So that's it for my roommate horror story. If you've ever had a similar experience or just want to share your thoughts, drop a comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more juicy story times. As this video comes to an end, I want to start giving shout outs to my supporters for showing me love and support on my videos. So thank you, Riley Games, for being a baddie. If you want to be featured in my video, just leave a comment down below, and see you in the next video. Bye, baddies.
Babe, I'm not staying, I just wanna play. In the party, he just wanna rump. Big boobs in the bus, they plump. She a baddie, she knows she a 10. She a baddie.